Yeah. So we're connected on Facebook and we're also connected on Instagram, but I don't think, okay, I see you there now. Yeah. Hi,
Sorry.
everyone. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Let's know in the chat how you're doing, and we're so happy that you're joining us. And yeah, and hopefully you're enjoying this beautiful day out wherever you are here in Brandon, Manitoba. It's beautiful, like seriously beautiful. Yeah. So yeah, I'm so glad you're here today. And Arabim, I'm glad you're here as well too. So let's get this party started. Let's get this party started. And so for this month is our mental health and awareness month, and we have been doing the 31 days challenge. And coincidentally, today's challenge, which is a day 11, talks about committing to healthy eating. And it's so coincidental that we have already been here too, and she'll be talking about, what a healthy looking eating will look like. What does it look like, and what are the components that makes up, a healthy eating. So over to you, Oribim. And I know most of you know who Oribim is, but she's just going to introduce herself for those of you that don't know who she is. Thank you.
Okay, everyone, thank you for having me again. Bliss, it's always a pleasure to be here. Thank you to all of you who have joined on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. Welcome. I'm sure we're going to have a great session today. I always enjoy talking about food and just, talking about healthy eating and showing people how easy and simple it is to follow a healthy diet to take care of your health and wellness. So, my name is Orvine Kingston. I'm a registered dietitian. I should I say specialize in diabetes management. I've recently started working in the eating disorder field, so I'm learning lots about that as well. But basically, I'm very passionate about promoting nutrition, promoting health and wellness, making it simple to everyday Canadians. So if you're here to learn about nutrition, you're in the right place. So stick with us at any point during our conversation. If you have any questions or just something you were curious about, you can always just put it in the chat box and we will answer it right away. So thank you again. I'm happy to have you here. Day 10. It's about nutrition and wellness. So let's go.
Awesome, 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 awesome. So, Aribim, so what would a healthy diet look like? I know we've heard this word, it's everywhere. Everybody talks about healthy, 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 healthy. It's something that is so common, but what is it, and what would it look like?
A lot of times when I talk about healthy eating or people talk to me about healthy eating, one of the things they always mention is, oh my God, I can't eat grass, or it's like eating grass. And I'm not sure why people equate eating healthy to just eating vegetables, because only eating vegetables is really not a healthy diet. So if you went on a vegetable only diet, it might sound healthy, but that is not a healthy diet. I consider a healthy diet to be a diet as close to nature as possible. That is the easiest and the simplest way I can define what it is. That means that it's not rich or high in processed foods. That means you're making most of your foods from scratch, staying away from things that have been pre-made, pre-packaged, pre-seasoned for you. A healthy diet is also a balanced diet, and a balanced diet will contain a carbohydrate, a protein, fruits, and vegetables, where like milk and dairy products will fall in your um, protein group, sort of. That's just the way Health Canada has fashioned it with their new Canada's Food Guide. So again, to summarize, a healthy diet is eating as close to nature as possible, and it's going to contain those three food components.
So, a healthy diet, in summary, is eating close to nature. And you had said, I'm just curious as to why did they take out dairy out of that? Was there any reason behind that?
I think the concept was to simplify things, first of all, but also to open up the floor to maybe people who are more lacto ovo vegetarian or more vegetarian in their diet plan. Because previously, the food guide before that had four groups, right? It had fruits and vegetables, it had grains, it had milk, and then it had like meats and whatnot. But they just kind of condensed those two groups because in a lot of dairy, you do get a good amount of protein. So I think it was just to simplify it and to open the door so people who are on a vegetarian diet can also fit in.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense with yeah, and I think when you look at the food guide as well, too, when you look at some of all those components, some of them contain dairy. Even just eating some from some of all those food groups or groups of food. So I'm just curious. So we've talked about what a healthy diet is. What is what is not a healthy diet?
That's a great question. And I'm happy you asked that because, again, there's a big misconception of what a healthy diet is. A healthy diet is not a fat diet. Today, on the internet, social media, YouTube, there's tons and tons of diet plans promising everything and anything. Any diet that promises you losing 50 pounds in 1 week, I can guarantee you that is not a healthy diet because that's not how we want you to lose weight. There's healthy weight loss and there's unhealthy weight loss. And if you're losing 50 pounds in 1 week, it's definitely unhealthy. So any fat diet, any diet that promotes you cutting out specific food groups. Now I know there's diets like the keto diet, the carnivore diet. Personally, I don't really advocate for it if it's not necessary. So there are certain population groups that those diets may be, beneficial to, but it's not beneficial for everyone. And this is why it's so important for you to work with a dietitian, right? A lot of times you hear about these diets and people that are on these diets and some of the successes that they've had with the diet, and you feel like, okay, because person A did it, then this diet's going to work for me. And that's not necessarily the case because everyone's different, everyone is in a different position. So if before you go on any of these restrictive diets, I always recommend first of all talk to your doctor, also talk to a dietitian because you have to factor in your medications, your lab values, your health status, a lot of things, your lifestyle, all these things that go into going on a diet plan. So fat diets, things that promise you an excessive and unrealistic amount of weight, even if it works and you do lose the weight it promised you, it's not a healthy diet. Diets that tell you to take stuff that is not scientifically proven. You hear about the apple cider vinegar challenge and how people really believe that that leads to weight loss, but there really isn't any scientific backing to that. There's just a lot of things there. A healthy diet is not a vegetable only diet. A healthy diet is a well planned out, well balanced meal, whichever way you want to go. If you're vegetarian, if you're vegan, if you eat meat, you still have to balance out your meals and plan out your meals. So be very careful. There's some diet plans as well that you have to pay for them to send you, be it supplements or shakes or vitamins. I just call that a very expensive diet. You can get all of that and more from foods in its raw forms. Again, this is something that would work for some people. There are people in specific situations where this might be helpful for them, for their lifestyle, for their diet plan, but not for everyone. Drinking those meal replacements. I see people a lot of times, leaving food and drinking, be it Boost or Ensure, because they think it's healthier for them, or because it might be easier for them to restrict their calories. But again, it's food is the best place to get your nutrition from. Is there a time and a place for these supplements? Absolutely. But it's not for everyone. And this is why you have to work closely with your healthcare practitioner so that you can find what works for you and what's best for you based on your own specific life situation.
Absolutely, for sure. Yeah, I think it's very important, like you had said. I think this is where it's very important and necessary that for everyone wanting to go on maybe any weight loss journey or that wants to start a weight loss journey, I think it's necessary that they seek, the advice, or maybe they seek the support of a dietitian just to walk them through that process as well too, because I know it requires a lot. But yeah, we live in a world where there's so many informations out there, where there are so many things that works for some people, and sometimes it might not work for everybody, like you said, right? And so I think it's necessary that they connect to a dietitian that has all the qualification, the skills, to guide them through that process as well too. Yeah, thank you for that. And so what would the components of a healthy diet look like for a family?
Absolutely. So for a family, those three components that I earlier mentioned, so carbohydrates, for carbohydrates, you want it to be again minimally processed. So for your grains, you really want to aim for things that are whole grains, things like brown bread, brown rice, whole wheat pasta. Generally, I tell people to stay away from anything that cooks in a minute. So minute rice, instant mash, instant noodles, instant oatmeal. When it's super processed like that, it doesn't really last. I always say you have to think about what they would have done to that food or that carbohydrate to make it cook in a minute. It can't be that great, right? So minutes and instant foods generally are not going to last you very long. They're usually super processed, they digest quickly, they spike your blood sugars, they don't sustain you. So whole grains, cooking your grains from scratch, the longer it cooks, the better for you, right? Because that means it's been the less processing it's gone through. Try and stay away from things that are, seasoned. I know in the age and stage of things like potatoes, like frozen potatoes or hash browns, I would say read your label, see what they've put in that bag, right? Read it. If they've put stuff that doesn't need to be there, maybe you just need to shop around and you will find a brand that is a little bit more clean. And I always and highly encourage reading your ingredient list on your foods. You'll be surprised the amount of things they add into foods that don't have to be there. Something I remember I had to buy ice cream one day and I thought, oh my gosh, why is there all of these things in ice cream? And I shopped around and I finally found a brand that had just milk, sugar, whole foods, and that was what I purchased. So take advantage of the ingredient list and try and shop for foods that have, as little additives and things that don't sound like food to you. So definitely whole grains for your carbs, or things like potatoes or pasta will make a healthy diet. And then you want to think of your protein. You always want to have a protein because it makes your foods last longer. It satisfies. Your protein is known for making you feel satisfied with your meals, so you tend to eat less throughout the day. And you could do something lean, so things like chicken, things like pork. If you're going to do steak or beef, to try and take off, any visible fat. You can see on it just to kind of cut back on the calories, and also just for heart health and cholesterol management as well. If you are a vegetarian, you still have to pay attention to your protein intake. I find that sometimes vegetarians they neglect um that protein just because maybe sometimes it's hard, especially for vegetarians on the go who don't have time, who have to purchase, maybe the foods from restaurants or fast foods. They tend to just order maybe rice or order fries, and there's nothing to go with that. A vegetarian diet is healthy if you choose plant-based protein, so your beans, your lentils, your pulses, those sorts of things. A vegetarian diet can become very unhealthy if you start going to what they call processed, right? So things like, the Beyond the Meat. I know it's marketed as a healthy alternative, but it's not, because it's is a processed food, right? And we're trying to stay away from things that have been processed for us. There's nothing or barely any natural thing in beyond the meat. So all these fake protein foods that they promote for the vegan and vegetarian population, I usually tell people to steer away from it. If that's the diet you want to follow, make it a plant-based, land-based diet, and then it can be very healthy, very well balanced for you. Again, you do have to be a bit more intentional in planning just so you're not deficient in things like iron and B12, etc. And then, of course, you want your fruits and your vegetables. Now, vegetables usually get a bad rap. People don't like, well, not everyone, but some people don't like vegetables, or they have a very limited amount of vegetables that they're willing to eat. I say whichever vegetables you like, go for it. However, the more colorful, the better. Because every color is going to do something different in your body, right? We don't even completely understand what those colors mean and what they do, but we know that they have their own benefits. So, for example, the lycopene, and the carotenoids and carrots and things like that, they're all very healthy for us. And this is another reason why it's important to not just get your foods from supplements, because supplements can't always replicate what food does for us. Science is only as advanced in terms of how much it can copy what nature makes. So when you eat your foods, you get those, carbs and protein and fats, but you also get those, phytochemicals, those antioxidants that may not really be mimicked if you were just to buy a supplement or, take some pills, etc. So you definitely want a variety of vegetables. It doesn't always have to be a salad. It's any way, shape, or form that you like them. If you like them with a dip, then by all means have it that way. If you like them roasted, that's it. If you want them steamed, stir fried, there's a variety of ways you can make vegetables. There's a variety of spices you can use on your vegetables to make them, taste better, be more acceptable to your kids or your husband. Because I find, sometimes our husbands tend to be the ones that need some encouragement in that department. So play around with vegetables. They're just so healthy for you. And of course, fruits will be the same thing, right? You do want a variety of fruits. Always try and, try the different colors, try new fruits, tropical fruits, Canadian local fruits, etc. Go berry picking, cherry picking if it grows in your vicinity. Try and shop as much as you can in season just to save cost, and so you're having them fresh and ripe. But that really is what a healthy diet looks like: your carbohydrates, your protein, and your vegetables. And again, you want it to be something in its natural state as much as possible.
Wow, that was a lot. That was a lot, and I think based on even some of the examples you were given with regards to some of the food groups and the choices on that he can pick from, that is actually like you're giving out like a meal plan which you charge for though, right? You're telling them what could fall under those categories as well too, right? Yes. So I think you've said a lot of information with regards to what a healthy diet is, what a healthy diet is not, and what are some of the components that that could be included in a healthy diet. And I think if you want more information with regards to healthy diet, with regards to a meal plan, Aribim, it's your girl to go for. Like, she has it all planned out. Like, if you see her meal plan, it's awesome. So you need to, if you're needing like a meal plan, whatever it is, like, she's a person to go for it. Yeah, she knows her stuff. Yeah. And I think that will be all with regards to healthy eating for tonight. But I think we have some information with regards to our upcoming event. Do you want to shed some light with regards to the workshop we're doing, our event?
Sure, absolutely. Yes, I'm very excited to share this with you all because I've been working really hard putting things together, and it's beginning to take shape. So we are going to be having a ketogenic diet workshop on the 26th of this month. So on the 26th of May. Yes, yes, yes. You have to be excited. Now, this diet is so popular. There's so many people that are on it. There's so many people that are thinking about going on it, if it's going to work for them, if it's not. I say the ketogenic diet is very technical. It's very technical in terms of the nutrients you're supposed to pay attention to, because you can run the risk for deficiencies in certain nutrients. There's a certain kind of keto diet that you will follow that could, mess up your cholesterol, and there's a way you can do it safely where your cholesterol is still protected. There's just so much to discuss when it comes to the ketogenic diet, and I want people who are on the ketogenic diet to do it safely, and for those who are thinking of going on the ketogenic diet to come find out if this is something that they want, if this is something that's going to work for them. So we're going to discuss what it is, the benefits, the pros, the cons, how to do it safely, what you need, what it looks like, what a healthy meal is on this diet. It's just going to be a whole lot. It's 90 minutes, so there's a lot of information that's going to be passed across to you. I think it's fantastic, but I'm biased. I created it. Also, we have a few freebies, right, for those who are going to attend that would totally make it worth your time. We have a sample 1 week meal plan for what a healthy eating on the ketogenic diet looks like. So when I talk about planning your meal so that your cholesterol still remains low, even though you're having a high fat diet, this meal plan takes all of that into consideration, and it'll help you. It's just to kind of give you an idea of meals that you can have up with this diet. You're also going to get a weekly menu planner that's going to help you plan those healthy, nutritious meals for yourself and for your family. And you're going to get, a discount on, services with me if you choose to pursue it, and if you feel like you need a bit more one-on-one time. And finally, you get to get a workbook that's going to explain or walk you through all that you need to get started on this diet. So there's a lot. This is definitely worth your time. If you register before the 18th, you do get 30% off, I believe. So don't, that's just 8 days away. Don't waste time. Hurry up, sign up. It's $35. If you register before the 18th, you get 30% off. So yeah, I think I've covered the basics, I think.
Awesome. I think you don't want to miss, you don't want to miss this event. It's loaded and with all the bonuses that Oribim has included in this workshop. It's amazing. And when you look at the total value of what she has included in this workshop and what she's, charging for this workshop, it's nothing compared to it at all. And so if you know this workshop is for you, or if you think it's going to be, valuable for someone, send those information across. Go over to our Facebook page and share those information. I think the information will be coming on our Instagram page later today. We also have it on our LinkedIn page as well too, and yeah, so yeah, also on our tweet as well too. I'm sure we do have that information out there. So if you or someone will benefit from this, upcoming workshop, please go sign up and take advantage of the 30% off we have right now between now and May the 18th. So take advantages of those, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. All right, I think that is all for us today. Tomorrow, the challenge still goes on, and yeah. So I don't know if you have any last word before we bid our friends and families, viewers, good night.
Sure. I just want to say that healthy eating, because this is a mental health challenge, right? A healthy diet also plays a role in mental health. So mental health affects your diet affects your mental health. So when you eat healthy, if you're someone who is, having mental health challenges, it's actually helping you through that. So so yeah, it's a win-win situation. It's gonna influence your body, but also your mind. So definitely think about it. There's a saying, food can be your best medicine or slowest poison. So just kind of bear that in mind.
Absolutely. Take advantage of, all the information you've heard about here. And I know one thing she had also mentioned was always, if you can, always read the food label. And I think if you go back to, I think some months ago when you taught us how to like read, food label, we still do that, when we get into the store, we're looking at the food label just to see what it contains, right? And so, yes, so if you're looking for that video, you just have to like, search all our Facebook page. All the videos up there are all there, and that info is there. But from us to you, we bid you a good evening, and yeah, have fun, enjoy the weather. We'll see you here next week, Tuesday, and yeah, have a good evening. Bye bye.